When looking at backup recovery and disaster recovery, there's only three things that matter. The first is something called the recovery time objective, or RTO. This is how long does it take to take a Windows server or rebuild a Windows server and get it into a full production state. The second key element is something called the RPO, or recovery point objective. This is how far back in time do you need to go to restore a clean data set. So let's take a situation that we have a critical server that crashes at its worst possible time. Well, there's never a good time for a server crash, but it crashes at the worst possible time at 1 minute past 5 this afternoon. What's going to be the RTO, recovery time objective? Well, you're probably going to spend half an hour diagnosing the problem. You realize, okay, I need to buy a new server, so you get a new server delivered. Oh, hang on a minute, distribution's closed, etc. So you're probably not going to be able to order the server until tomorrow morning. Won't turn up until tomorrow night. Let's be really optimistic. You work with a really good partner, they deliver, or you have a lone server standing by, so 8 o'clock in the morning, you start the recovery process. So in order to rebuild the Windows operating system, it's going to take you 4, 6, 8 hours, best case, by the time you install all the service packs, the security updates, etc., etc., etc. So let's be really optimistic and say by lunchtime you get the server up and running. Fantastic. Now you go to last night's backup tape. Oh, hang on a minute. The server crashed at 1 minute past 5 last night. You have to go back to the day before. So you've now lost 8 hours of data. Well, it's actually 8 hours of data per user. So if you have 10 users, that's 80 hours of data. 100 users, you have lost 800 hours of data. Every file created today, every document, every touch of the database is lost. You will never get it back again. So if it took you 8 hours to do a backup or 6 hours to do a backup, it's going to take you 6 or 8 hours to do a restore. So you're now at 6 o'clock in the evening. Fingers crossed, everything's actually come back and you can actually get back into production. Wouldn't it be really cool if you had a technology in place that same situation, that a server crashes at 1 minute past 5, that you could use virtual boot technology from StorageCraft to get that server into full production in 3 to 5 minutes. For example, by 5 minutes past 5, get the server up and running into full production, restored to the exact state at 5 o'clock, losing 1 minute of data. Powerful recovery technology. The third key thing to look at when you're looking at any backup and recovery solution is something called the TRO, or Test Recovery Objective. This is how long does it take to actually test your backups and to prove that everything is backed up. So I assume if you're using tape today, you once a week, once a month do a test of your backups, and you go and get last night's backup tape and overwrite current production data? Nah, no one's going to be that silly. What you'll probably do is open the tape and try to see if you can find 1 or 2 files. If you can do that, fingers crossed, everything's working. How cool would it be if you had a solution in place that allows you to do a full test and it takes 3 to 5 minutes? Again, using the StorageCraft virtual boot technology, you can do a complete test of your backup to help ensure that 100% of your data has been backed up and is able to be recovered using our powerful and unique virtual boot technology. Interestingly, Gartner's come out with a statistic that by the end of 2010, 75% of all organizations will supplement backup with replication and snapshot technology. What's really cool is StorageCraft is the world leader in live real-time recovery, or real-time snapshot technology. And with our latest version of Shadow Protect version 4 and a new technology that we've released called Image Manager Enterprise, it includes replication technology as well, to give you the power that you require to recover your systems and your data and your files. So what sort of words would you use today to describe backup recovery and disaster recovery? The sort of words we hear from everyone is that it's slow, it's cumbersome, it's tedious, it's painful, it's expensive. Expensive by the time you buy the backup software. Once you buy the backup software, you've got to buy all these agents and options for Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, BTLs, and deduplication, and management options, and disaster recovery options. Once you buy all these options, you then have to deploy them. Once you deploy them, you have to manage them. At the end of the day, when you go to do a restore, there's nothing there anyway. It's unreliable. So describe your ideal situation. I've got this magic wand and I go abracadabra and hey presto and instantly transform backup recovery and disaster recovery. What do you want it to be? Well, what we hear from virtually all our customers is all they want is 4 things. They want it to be fast, easy, reliable, and affordable. I would add a 5th in, which is also non-intrusive. No one wants to know that backups are happening. It just should happen in the background without any impact on the business. It should be a set and forget technology that just does what it's supposed to do. And most importantly, allows me to recover my files and folders in literally seconds, or a complete server restore in 3 to 5 minutes. Question is, how long will it take to migrate from the red to the green? Well, with Shadow Protect, we make that migration very, very straightforward. So what we've seen in the industry, there's a new market segment that's been created, which is called real-time recovery. What real-time recovery does, it focuses on what's critical to you as a business. And the first part of it is the ability to restore a server in literally minutes. Wouldn't it be cool if you could restore a 150 gig server, a 2.5 terabyte, or a 30 terabyte server in 3 to 5 minutes to its exact state from 15 minutes ago? Real-time recovery provides the ability to restore single files and folders in literally seconds. Wouldn't it be fantastic if you could restore a single file or folder back to any 15-minute point in time that's on our backups? Real-time recovery also includes local, remote, and off-site replication. So let's say you have a situation where you have 10, 20 branch offices. In those branch offices today, you probably have a tape drive, you have tape backup software, and you probably have maybe a secretary or receptionist managing the backup process, changing the tapes, etc. Wouldn't it be really cool if you could have this in those same 20, 30 branch offices? You simply put in a hard disk and replication software, so you do your backups locally, and they get automatically replicated back to head office, so you never have to buy another tape drive, media cartridge, etc. again. Ultimately, one of the key benefits of real-time recovery is that it substantially reduces the cost and complexity of backup recovery and disaster recovery throughout your organization. Interestingly, Gartner's come out with a statistic that by the 2013, surviving backup and recovery products will have transformed into recovery management solutions. StorageCraft recognized that it was all about recovery since our inception, and what we focused on is delivering world-class recovery technology to organizations of all sizes. So one of the concepts behind version 4 is the ability to eliminate everything. How cool would it be if you could eliminate backup windows, eliminate recovery windows, eliminate data loss, eliminate cost and complexity and migration pains? And ultimately, the holy grail of backup is eliminating tape from your organization.